Hey traders from around the world, it's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsom with reallifetrading.com, and we're checking out the markets today, looking at the SPY, this ETF that tracks the Standard & Poor's, the S&P 500, and we are likely continuing higher. So again, just kind of referencing previous info and previous waves. I've been tracking with this wave and mentioning that this wave I think is very similar to this wave. So far, it's looking like that's the case. I kept mentioning this week, last week, the week before, that we're likely going to see some higher highs on SPY. This little pullback right here, I think, was very similar to this little retracement right there. This white candle corresponding very well with this white candle. And these 2 days of rest, and popping today. So really almost picture perfect. So I think tomorrow and Friday will go up a little bit higher. And flipping over here to the weekly chart. Here's the weekly. And we'll take this little line off I'll hide it for just a moment. Hiding that line again. So last time we made the wave, had a little bit of an upper shadow. That might occur, but we got 6 weeks of up candles in a row. The FOMC meeting just has come out, and it did affect the market a little bit, causing it to really go a little bit higher. But my overall thought process is I think that was going to be the case anyway. Now, again, keep in mind this is subject to change due to volatility. Something else could happen, ironically insane, for the rest of the afternoon. But 204 really is and kind of has been my target for a while in the SPY. And then from there, I'll be looking around this general area for a potential consolidation and some rollover. Will that happen? I truly don't know. We could trade up into there, pause, and then continue higher. That's definitely a possibility, so we'll keep an eye on it. Brian Shepard, Rick King, great job on the spreads down there. That was fantastic work overall. Here's the Dow Jones, the DIA, cruising up, making some higher highs. Probably trading up into about the 176 area, so that's looking kind of healthy. Energies were down nicely the last 2 or 3 days, but really, if you're just looking at this, pretty easy. White candles gapping up; those are retest gaps. There's the retest, aka flag pattern, and we're continuing higher today, trading into the trend line, the very strong trend line XLE, which also kind of corresponds with the SPY and the Dow reaching some resistance. So will we roll over? I don't know, but we definitely don't have to, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes on the prize, trade what you know, trade the setups that are there, and kind of play it accordingly. So had some interesting swing trades and day trades recently. So GWPH, got to give my boy Troy Beinhauer a shout out on this one. He was looking for a retest. A lot of traders have been asking me about this one. It was a white candle, gapped up, so it was a retest gap, just kind of plain and simple. Huge move, 100% or something return on that day. Traded into the 200 and had a giant high wave indecisive candle. So my setup on this one as of yesterday after market close, here's the hourly chart, looked a little something like this. Now I know you can probably say that's pretty easy to see in hindsight. It is, but there is the link that I posted on Twitter about 18 hours ago. That's what I was looking at last night. So if it was going to go bullish, I'd want to close above there, and bearish, just beautiful little pennant pattern, broke lower for a good 6 or 7 points. And I don't know exactly what happens from here, but my overall guess is really, if we hop back into the hourly chart, you can see kind of a similar formation. So it might do it again. We might trade sideways a little bit longer, and then on the daily chart, maybe trade down into 64. But that's just something that a lot of you guys have been asking about since it had a huge gap. Today, LinkedIn, ticker symbol LNKD. LinkedIn, been keeping an eye on this one, and it took its sweet time ever since this evening star reversal pattern right there. I've been posting a few tweets on LinkedIn on what I thought. Phenomenally gorgeous gap today. Here's your support / pivot. This is a bearish retest gap. I do have a target of about $100 on LinkedIn, so if you're in bearish, like a few of you are, I think that it likely could continue, possibly get a retest the next 2 or 3 days, and then potentially a rollover on LinkedIn. But this was just a classic gap. I'm a classic gap. Look at me, no candles on the screen. I'm a classic gap. Check this out. Beautiful retest gap, gap down. One of my absolute favorite patterns. A gap down, clearing a pivot, and you get a small white candle on the 5-minute. Entry, stop, woof. Very nice trade. Now, I will say, since I actually took this trade, very massive slippage on LinkedIn this morning. I had a market order, I think at 111.20, and I think the fill was like 110.52, something outrageous. So I did not make as much money as I wanted to, and I'll be honest, I got a little scared on that trade because the slippage, if I got stopped out on that, would have been like a 3R loss in about 30 minutes, which, you know, has happened before, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I lost 3R in the first 30 minutes of the market. So I think I pulled the buy to close button kind of in a little bit of a panic, I'll be honest. Around there at 109, which in hindsight was a great place to exit. Obviously the trade could have run a little bit more, but just because I had such a bad entry due to the fill, I just bailed a little bit early. About 1.8 on that one overall. Got stopped out on this big lots trade. This was a lunchtime low of the day break, which very rarely works. But here was the short-term support. Great looking gap on the daily. Broke the low of the day. I was looking for a limit sell triggered, and then got stopped out about 5-10 minutes later for 1 hour loss. So nice and painless. Here's the daily chart. And the daily chart, again, it was a gap down. You know, you were below the 200 simple. We had retested the 200 simple. Was looking for a low of the day. It just simply didn't work. That's one of those situations. But Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE, did make a very, very small gain on Pfizer today, but enough to end the day profitable. There's a little support on Pfizer, a little bit of a bearish gap down. Nothing overly special by any means. Here's the 5-minute chart, and this one was also a low of the day break. So the low of the day right here. This one we were looking at it. We got in on a limit sell right there. Stop was right here. And exited right before the FOMC meeting, right in there at 29.92 for about 0.7 hours. So nothing drastically fantastic by any means, but a good, nice little profit to end the day on Pfizer. So as of now, I think the market's likely looking like they're going to go a little bit higher. Ticker symbol BOX was requested on the YouTube channel. And Box. So let's look at this one on a longer term view. As far as the fundamentals of this company, I'm a little concerned because this is Dropbox, if I'm not mistaken, and the web hosting, storage, data storage, that's a lot of competition in that space, and it's a technology that I think will continue to be phased out as time progresses. You know, Apple has the storage, Dropbox has the storage, Rackspace. There's a lot of other cloud services. In fact, one that I think we use are like $5 a month. They're very, very inexpensive. Some are even $5 a year. I mean, they're just so cheap that I don't necessarily think Dropbox has a good long-term fundamental outlook. That's just my perspective. It doesn't mean that it's right. Phenomenal breakdown on Dropbox here, though. Really good support. Nice little triangle. Broke lower. Retested. Failed like I failed chemistry. Stock trade lower. Traded back up. Broke down again. Nice little triangle pattern right there. Broke lower. And now we formed a double bottom. We trade up higher. Traded back to this resistance recently on earnings, and could this be retesting the neckline of this big double bottom? And I would say absolutely, we could be doing that. Here's the kind of the neckline of that area. So on Dropbox, if I was going to play this personally, I would look for a trade higher above $12.38 because here's a little pattern right there. Probably get a close above that price now that I'm looking at it. A close above $12.38, and the stop would be right about here, right below the most recent low, and that's $11.25. That'd kind of be my setup. Target 1 would be this resistance, and then target 2 would be this resistance on ticker symbol BOX. More or less just saying, hey, is this a double bottom? Will it continue higher? I don't know. We'll see. Again, since I mentioned Rackspace, here's Rackspace, ticker symbol RAX. And Rackspace might also be forming a potential inverted head and shoulders pattern or something. A lot of volume down in here. Really, really good support that it broke through. There's your support. There's the support, and there's recent resistance. So it's going to have a lot to break through on Rackspace. So again, same type of industry. I'd be looking for a close above 25 on Rackspace before anything spectacular happens on that. Shopify, looking for a close above $27.12 with a stop at $25.06 on Shopify. PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. John Higgins is in bullish on this one. Stop down here. Target up here somewhere on PayPal. Nice little consolidation phase. My good friend Leon Benish was looking for this gap to fill back here. Was looking to buy some longer term calls. I don't know if you got a chance to do that, Leon, but if you did, great job, man. That one's looking much, much better. And last but not least for today, Bank of America and Apple. Bank of America, in my personal opinion, Bank of America. It's broken a really strong support. 1441. 1804, definitely a consolidation channel within there. Broke below that. I got into 2 trades on Bank of America, lost 1, won 1, overall profitable. So at this point, I mean, if you're looking at the exponential moving averages on a weekly chart, those are bearish. I think there's a chance Bank of America could make it back up to 1441, but I'm not bullish. That's just my personal opinion, though. So far on the weekly chart, you are forming a nice little new black crow on a weekly, which, you know, could be a pennant pattern and we could continue higher. But if we look at the daily chart, a little bit of volume coming in now, could be a possible double top on Bank of America. So I would say if it closes below 1291, I'd really just say I'm not going to be specifically bullish. Not bullish. Not necessarily bearish. Doesn't mean I'm going to be buying puts or shorting the shares, but I'm just not going to be bullish if it closes below there. Very similar to my analysis on Twitter. Twitter closed below 1699. I'm not bullish on Twitter. Twitter, in fact, is actually one of my 9 stocks that I'm never bullish on. So anyway, Twitter doing its thing. I think Brian Shepard is nice and profitable on some bearish trades on Twitter. And then last but not least on the day, Apple cruising, trading into my target of the 100 simple moving average. Got a few more pennies to go. That'll likely bounce. Stan's got himself an April week 1 covered call. This is a retest gap right there. Kind of anticipating a little bit of a trade up into here. Potentially a retest of that gap and then a bounce. A lot of traders made a lot of money on Apple. So great job for you who are in that one. And if you're like, Jeremy, I never got a trade set up on Apple. Well, if you hop over to reallifetrading.com, about every month or so, we're going to be posting a new article depending on the weather. And this is the Winter Portfolio 2016 3rd edition. You should probably hop over to reallifetrading.com pretty often and check out what we're posting on there. It's pretty good stuff. So here's Real Life Trading winter article, and here was the setup on Apple that a lot of traders are in, 102.41 by 99.94. Some traders even had to stop at 100. This was me exiting some of my position on Apple, and I'll exit likely the rest on the 100 simple moving average. But also we mentioned it pretty often in the these free real life stock reviews we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that you had a nice little flag pattern. If it breaks, it continues higher. Anyway, great job for everyone who traded Apple. Very good stuff. Excited to see what else is happening and brewing out there in the markets, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on Friday. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade. See you.